Welcome everyone back to Weekly Weather Updates, and this evening we'll have a look at the latest from the UKMO Office Run, the ICON, the GFS, the GM, the ECMWF and the GFS Ensembles. We've got very interesting weather coming up over the next 5 days, with the potential for seeing some very heavy snow in a few places, very heavy rain in other places. But it does look like there will be very strong winds regardless of where you are, and we do have yellow warnings now in force for Friday and Saturday, meaning we could even be seeing some blizzard-like conditions, especially over higher ground. So remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you like and subscribe, and remember to follow on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. So if we do run through the latest from the UK Met Office Run, you can see at the moment it's actually really quite dry. In the north there's a few drizzly showers and cloud has been sinking southwards throughout the day. This evening, into early hours of tomorrow, we're going to see heavy rain pushing into the northwest with an associated weather front, potentially some snow initially over higher ground, but the air isn't quite cold enough, so it does diminish, and the weather front does decay away, turning more patchy and just generally into cloud with some light rain within it. Then we start to see wintry showers push into the north. Could be seeing some accumulations of that across Scotland, and then as we head through Thursday afternoon, we see more snow across Scottish Highlands before we start to see a weather front push in. Now, this weather front is we've got milder wedge of air with it, so we're going to be seeing generally rain for many areas. However, behind it through Friday evening, we're going to see widespread snow over high ground in Scotland, northern England, and some heavy snow with that as well. And as these occluded fronts and convergence zones move southwards, we could be seeing heavy snow even to low-lying areas across Scotland, Ireland, parts of northern England, Wales, even in the southwest we're seeing a bit of purple here, and across central England into East Anglia could be seeing snow to low-lying areas. Now there is some rain mixed in with this, but we are still seeing this signal potentially for snow, and as it moves away, seeing wintry showers pack in to the east as well. So very interesting seeing what's happening with that. It is likely to not settle significantly to low-lying areas, and it is likely to just be falling snow. There will be some evaporative cooling affecting it as well. But we are seeing this signal now, and I'll show you the other models in a minute, which do all agree with this general consensus of potentially seeing snow to low-lying areas. Now, if we have a look at max temperatures, you can see today we saw temperatures get up to around forget the start update, around 6, 7, 8 degrees. So not massively cold, but not massively mild either. Overnight tonight, potentially a frost across southern England and parts of southern Ireland as well. But we're seeing a sort of wedge of milder air move in. So tomorrow afternoon, temperatures in the south maybe 7, 8 degrees, but in the north, close to freezing or just a couple of degrees above. Overnight Wednesday into Thursday, widely freezing in the north. In the south, still got milder air, so 5, 6, 7 degrees. And by sort of Thursday morning, we're still seeing colder temperatures across actually quite widespread areas as those temperatures do diminish even in England. By Thursday afternoon, temperatures really struggling in the north, around freezing, but in the south, maybe 4, 5, 6 degrees. As we head overnight Thursday, a widespread frost with widespread 0 degrees or below, especially across England and Scotland and Wales. And then through Friday afternoon, temperatures maybe 5, 6 degrees, but very cold across Scotland, freezing or below. And you can see those freezing cold temperatures do spread southwards. Overnight Saturday, widespread temperatures below freezing or around freezing. And that means we could be seeing that snow falling across central areas and eastern areas as well as that weather front does pull away. And Saturday, temperatures in the afternoon only really reaching 2, 3, maybe 4 degrees max in a few places. Elsewhere, around freezing, maybe 1 degree or so. And across Scotland, a couple of degrees below freezing. Very cold conditions. And through Sunday, widespread frost once again. So very cold sort of Friday, Saturday, Sunday coming up, and the potential for snow. Now, one thing that has started to crop up within the models, within the low pressure system that is moving through Friday, Saturday, is going to be the strong winds. We have yellow warnings in force, and I'll show you those in a minute. But you can see initially strong winds across Thursday as well. But really, it's as we head through Friday evening into Saturday, you see very strong winds, 70, 80 mile per hour gusts potentially there, combined with heavy snowfall. Could be seeing blizzard conditions, whiteout conditions, especially over higher ground, and even early hours of Sunday, still seeing 50 or 60 mile per hour gusts in a few places. Very interesting. seeing this could be a wild weather Friday into Saturday for many. Now, if we have a look at the icon, have a look at precipitation, you can see generally nothing too much over the next day or so. Weather front progressing overnight tonight into tomorrow, then snow showers across Scotland, and then we see another associated weather front push through, mainly rain initially, and then we start to see the snow through Friday evening into early hours of Saturday, through many areas, even central areas, eastern areas, even down into the southwest as well, seeing some snow along the east coast as well through Saturday into Sunday as well. Could be seeing some snow as well. Very interesting seeing this. Wouldn't be surprised if we did see some snow even to many low-lying areas. We see a few surprises here or there where some areas not seeing significant snow in the models actually does crop up in reality. So we'll have to keep a real close eye on this and on the radar near at the time. Now, if we finally have a look at the GFS, see how that does compare. You can see at the moment nothing too major. Weather front moving through tonight into tomorrow, nothing too significant with that before snow showers pack in overnight Wednesday into Thursday across Scotland, and then we see the next weather front move through. Mainly rain, and then on the back edge, heavy snow potentially moving through for early hours of Saturday, and then more widespread snow pushing in across many northern coasts and eastern coasts as well. You can see in the southwest, Pembrokeshire Dangler going really quite significantly, with potentially some very heavy snow across the southwest, mainly over higher ground, but once again could be seeing some significant conditions there, and beyond that it does slowly start to diminish before we see weather fronts move in from the west once again. Now, if we have a look at the latest from the GFS, you can see at the moment high pressure over top of the country. That is going to be moving away with weather fronts moving through Wednesday. Introducing slightly colder air, we'll see a milder wedge of air before that very strong low pressure system move through with the colder air. And that's where we could be seeing those very strong winds with that as well. As that does move through, you see very strong northerly winds, and that's where we could be seeing some very heavy precipitation, convection, and weather fronts move through as well. Snow associated with that as well. And if we have a look at the upper air conditions, you can see below -5 quite significantly. That's -7, -8 degrees potentially in a few spots, which is cold enough for snow really anywhere. Beyond that, though, that cold air eventually does get shunted away by Monday with westerly winds pushing back in. Beyond that, though, we still do have some application in the jet stream, so by next Wednesday we actually do once again go into a northerly wind. Now, it's not going to be majorly cold, and if you have a look at the upper air temperatures, it is going colder, but only lasting a day or two before getting moved away. So could see some wintry showers with that once again. And we go generally into a westerly theme towards the end of the run. High pressure does start to build in though, and things turning a lot drier, especially in the south, but in the north, more unsettled with westerly winds. Now, if we have a look at the GM run, you can see again high pressure moving away, northerly winds moving in, and then we see the very unsettled conditions with that stormy sort of conditions, blizzards potentially, heavy rain and snow around, with that moving in from the north. Then we see the high pressure topple bringing in westerly winds, but still seeing some slight northerlies at times through next week. And again, you see that central low pressure system by next Wednesday coming in with some colder air before the high pressure does start to topple by day 10. Still cold in the far southeast with easterly or northeasterly winds moving in, so still quite chilly there, and we could be seeing a good chilly week coming up, especially along the east where we do hold on to that colder air for longer. Now, if we have a look at the ECMWF, see how that does compare. Again, you see the high pressure toppling, northerly winds moving in, and then we see that very significant low pressure system by Saturday. And eventually that does move through, and then we go generally more westerly. Again, still have that potentially northerly wind by next Wednesday into Thursday. And if I look at the upper air temperatures, you can see quite cold conditions moving through, and those do spread through and will eventually clear probably by next weekend. Still a bit way out, so not guaranteed this will come off exactly as we're seeing on these models, but it does look like there is pretty high potential considering it's coming up on all three of the main models. Now, if we have a look at the GFS Ensembles, you can see that we're reflected around average at the moment, with the upper air conditions dropping away as we see weather fronts move through over the next few days, before rising up temporarily before we see that cold air pushing through Friday into Saturday, and that hanging around for a good couple of days, and that's where we could be seeing some snow, blizzard conditions potentially as well across higher ground in Scotland and northern England. Temperatures do rise up to around average before we do see that dip away once again through the first days of December, and that's where that associated northerly wind does move in. Some quite cold air potentially with that as well, but you can see not all ensemble members are going for it, so it's not guaranteed. Beyond that, temperatures return to around average, but we have a lot of scatter around, so we can't say for certain what's going to be happening through the first week of December, but it is looking cold with that northerly wind for the first few days, and it does look like it will recover. But as ever, with the longer term ensembles, there is a lot of scatter around. Now, if we have a look at the new snow depth spikes, you can see significant snow depth spikes are now coming up for around Friday into Saturday through to Sunday as well. That sort of 36-hour period from Friday evening all the way to early hours of Sunday, that is where we could be seeing snow. It's even low-lying areas across England, Wales, and Ireland as well. So have to keep an eye really on what happens with that. Dew points, you can see they do align through that period 27th to the 29th below freezing, one indicator for snow. And if you have a look at the 2 meter temperatures, you can see 2-3 degrees in the day and dropping to around 1 or 2 degrees at night, probably lower than that as well if we do see clear skies around, and of course precipitation will bring down those temperatures. Now remember, we can see falling snow all the way up to around 3 or 4 degrees, and because that sort of wedge of milder air is just at the surface. So we'll have to see exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be marginal, especially low-lying areas, but at this stage it is looking encouraging. Overnight the models have kind of upgraded the potential, moving the low pressure system, or the centre of it, slightly further eastwards, which does bring that colder air in faster, turning more of that precipitation to snow. Now if we have a look at Glasgow, see further northwards, can see 2 meter temperatures are going to be a good degree or two colder than that. We're going to see quite up and down, 6-7 degrees today, but by sort of Thursday only 1 or 2 degrees, then by Friday 4 or 5, but then by Saturday hardly getting above freezing. So it's going to be variable temperatures, and if we have a look at the dew points, you can see again very similar to London in terms of those dew points sort of oscillating up and down, but between the 27th and the 29th with the highest chance of seeing more widespread snowfall, well below freezing. If we have a look at the dew point, the new snow depth spikes, again you can see quite a few snow depth spikes around. Not massive in terms of precipitation accumulations, but across Scotland it's most likely to be convective, especially through Saturday and Sunday. So more likely to be showers which are not going to be picked up well by the ensembles, which are lower resolution. If we have a look at the 850 HPA temperature and precipitation, you can see, again, very similar to London in terms of mild at the moment, turning much colder over the next couple of days, rising up briefly to around average before dropping much colder once again. And then through the last couple of days of November, around average before we see that drop away once again, as we could potentially be seeing that very cold northerly wind move back in throughout the first few days of December before returning to around average with a lot of scatter and unsettled conditions coming in as well. Now, if we finally have a look at the Met Office warnings, as we do have yellow warnings in force. Initially, yellow warning from Friday at midday until Friday midnight. Potential for a period of very strong winds to develop across northern Scotland on Friday afternoon and then extend south through the evening. Now, if we do have a look at the further details, strongest winds will arrive across northern Scotland during Friday afternoon before developing further south through the evening across the rest of Scotland, 50-60 mile an hour widely, 70 to 80 mile an hour possibly along the coast. High impact, low likelihood at this stage because we are still a good few days out. If we go to Saturday, we have a more widespread warning covering most of the United Kingdom, excluding just the far southeast corner from early hours of Saturday all the way to 6 p.m. Potential for a spell of very windy weather, and that could be accompanied by potentially rain or snow. You can see strongest winds will arrive across North Scotland during Friday afternoon before becoming more widespread overnight into Saturday morning. Winds will tend to slowly ease from the north during the afternoon, 50 to 60 mile an hour widely, 70 to 80 mile an hour across coastal areas, particularly in Scotland and northeast England. High impact, low likelihood once again. So could be seeing some very significant conditions towards the end of this working week into the weekend. So make sure you stay tuned to my videos. Also have a look at Met Office forecasts as well, as they are the official forecast that you should have a look at, and stay tuned to potential warnings, as we could be seeing upgrades to these wind warnings and even maybe some snow warnings as well coming in potentially for a few areas as well. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.